All right. There it is. There it is. We're live. Woo. All right. So, doesn't seem to matter when I start a stream. There's always, it's the final monster. Ah. Whee. Well, not the final monster. It's the final two. But it's the final stream for it. But anyway, I was going to say, it doesn't seem to matter when I start a stream. Me and Glee were actually talking about this last night. It's about 60 to 90 minutes into the streams when people start pouring in. So maybe I need like an hour-long countdown before the stream starts. I'm sure that wouldn't aggravate anybody. That didn't fit the syllable count. That's true. That's true. It didn't. It didn't. Anyway. Yeah, we got Magna Centipede for Weird World War and Crystal Snail for Weird West. So we got two weirds today. Stall time. Right. Yeah, I'll just sit here and hang out and play a game for an hour and a half before actually doing any work. That's what I do outside the stream. But that's a secret. Alright. So Magna Centipede. As always, learn new things with him when reading up on him. But I think I actually mentioned this in an earlier stream about how he can inject you with the virus, and I had no idea about all that, so. You love his hat? Yes. I had to put that on there for Peter since it was a Weird West. Yeah, Magna Centipede. Centipede like Reploid. Programmed to serve the Sigma Rebellion. Let's see. That's just what he looks like. In case you can't see the picture, you can read the text. That makes sense. Yeah. The pincer that allows him to weaken X with a debilitating virus. See, that never happened to me because I always came in with his weakness, which destroyed his tail. You just hit him once and pff, it shatters. I never knew that was a thing. Magna Centipede's personality before his brainwashing is unknown. Now, I took that part. As a Maverick, he is cold and emotionless. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, even destroying former comrades. Was that his? I missed that part. That could be fun. Alright, so the other thing that I really didn't know or ever put together because I was too busy running and jumping and shooting things is his stage. I always wondered why the game, after you went through all the Sigma levels, came back to this stage at the end. Why you ended up here at the very, very end of the game, even though you'd already been here. I thought it was just them reusing assets. That's all I thought it was. I didn't think it was actually the same stage. Meant to be the same place. But no, it is a large computer hub that Magna Centipede uses to spread the Maverick virus. So, no wonder you come back there at the end. It's kind of like the whole point of the game. Yeah. Later hosts the final battle with Neo Sigma. So, that's obviously going to come into play. I didn't think of a way to put a fake zero in there, though. I will admit that. But maybe we'll figure it out. But yeah. See, look how many enemies are in his stage versus Overdrive Ostrich, which had 2 or 3, whatever it was. Let's see, what was it? Overdrive, Desert Base. Yeah. 3 bad guys. I still can't believe that. Simpler times, man. Anyway. So this guy is a centipede, obviously. So many. Yeah. He can break off his tail and like things come at you with the magnets, I guess, and they hover around you and stab you. He could just throw out shurikens. Whee! Really had nothing to do with him other than he was kind of like the ninja vibe going on. And then his tail, he can magnetically pull the player in. So obviously we got to use some magnets, right? And that just gets you with a virus. A single injection disables charge shots. See, that's pretty wild. A second disables the X-Buster's rapid fire, which I don't know, does that just make you shoot slower? I guess you don't have a rapid fire. It's however fast you can hit the button. A third decreases dash distance. Man, that's crazy. And then the fourth, I don't know how you get grabbed 4 times, but man, you'd be in bad shape. Yeah, this is what I always did. The player can destroy Centipede's tail with a silk shot. To disable this attack entirely, you can also mash buttons. Alright. So here's what I was thinking. For ye old Centipede of the Magnets. He's a chemist. Alchemy kind of guy, right? Brewing up some weird poisons. Let's see. I can't minimize it. Alright. So he's... My notes. A research lab that is also producing a chemical virus, as well as ways to distribute it. The Maverick virus. But this is Weird World War, so chemical warfare. Could be missiles, bombs, and the like. So it's a lab/factory. The virus mutates people into stronger beings and forces them to join the other side, right? So they're not quite zombies, but they're really not in control of themselves. So, and that opened up the doors like, ooh, is that what actually happened to Magna Centipede? Since he doesn't really talk to anybody. So maybe did he make it and accidentally get it? Or did somebody do it to him and he just happened to be a chemist? How does it go? Who knows? But I'm wondering, like, since he's a centipede, do we want to have this virus thing kind of mutate people into bugs? Be interesting. Magna Centipede, a brilliant alchemical mind. It is unsure whether or not the virus was used on him, or he accidentally became his own victim. Still hints that he has his own mind. I have a contradictory note. There are hints that he still has his own mind and is blindly following orders. That doesn't make sense. Still seems dedicated. Says next to nothing, appearing as though he is indeed a brainless drone. So, where is Powerly Point? Okay. So we will say, in this here setting, with my new colors, we gotta use the new colors. All right. World War I. We want to do that again? Oh, actually, and I think, yeah, I had the thought maybe he could be tied to wire sponge, maybe. Part of his chemical warfare is what messed up the forest that wire sponge went into and got mutated with the plants. That'd be neat. Let's say Weird World War I. Same world as wire sponge. This is the setting. Those are just random notes. It doesn't matter. Blah, 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 blah. Same world. Big brain chemist. Can make a poison/virus. Enhances the strengths, capabilities of others. It makes them follow the BBEG's orders. Whoever the BBEG is. Who is BBEG? That is the question. Brain farting. I kind of like the idea of it mutating them and giving them bug-like features. So, like, maybe, I don't know, that'd be too gross. Because, like, if you're a person, without thinking of the human centipede, what kind of centipede features would you get? Maybe we don't do that. But that would also, but if we did, that would explain what happened to Wire Sponge, how he got intermingled with the plants and stuff. Be like Spider-Man. You just got the strength and can grab the wall and stuff and shoot some webs. Maybe. Maybe. I still don't know what a centipede would give you, other than extra legs. Maybe that's the thing. He has a bunch of extra arms. Be neat. We'll put it. Oh, let's see. Put it over here. That's the poison mutate others into mutate others / give them bug features. Maybe kind of neat, right? Also, I gotta make sure I get done at like right at 2 hours today. I got another call to hop into. YouTube's revealing more wonderful tools I'm sure we will all love and appreciate. Let's see. Where's my notes? Yeah. Okay. So let's say, let's make this a fun color. How about this orange? So in the game, he kind of cripples you. But if he's making something that mutates, like, how would that work for the players? Give him some backstory here. Magna Centipede, we'll call him MC, for main character, and Magna Centipede. Kind of works out. MC, deep within enemy territory. Master Chemist, being used. Chemical war. I know how to spell warfare. Nobody knows if it's his choice or if he is a victim of his own creation. Creates mindless drones who will obey the master. He is ninja. Let's see, everything is stopped. The recipe dies with him. Go with that. It's good enough for now. So let's work on some abilities. How are we gonna? I didn't really think about the magnet side of this, despite that being in his name. Well, we know we need a poison dart gun. Hinders the player in some capacity, not HP drain. Each shot will make the hindrance worse. That's super basic, and we can figure more out later. Whoop. Let's see, where's... the tail? A chemist that is the master of magnets as well. Oh, it is a close to 3. Interesting. So he does that. Shurikens. I guess you just have a little pistol. Basic attack. Something with magnets. We'll just say something with magnets. Oh, this should be part of the dart gun thing, probably. Enemies. Oh, not enemies. If players have anything metal on them, will be drawn towards MC, giving him a clear shot. It will be drawn. See, along with the player, if they don't let go. There you go. So he like pulls you in and you're like, oh no! Hits you with the thing. So it's kind of like a two-part ability, right? So maybe I should... Don't I have like a double arrow? Oh, y'all can't even see what I'm looking at. That's lame. That's lame. What's really lame is I don't have a double arrow thing. Well, let's just do it this way. They go together. Okay. And I feel like... is equipped with a basic pistol or minor. That's the word I'm looking for. That replaces his shurikens. Virus, the mine. I guess I could use the stage if you're in his lab. Maybe. The poison dart's hard to get into without it being system specific is the problem. Because like if we're playing nuts, I could just say, oh, that gives you disruption, or that gives you a detriment, right? We're doing easy d6. They could just stack banes. It's like, okay, you have a bane on combat actions now. Second shot. Okay, you have 2 banes now. And then you just keep stacking banes. Which would be kind of cool, honestly. Now, if it were something like 5e or Pathfinder, I don't know, what would you do? Like, the first level removes your ability to crit, and then, or maybe just, what was the first one? Your charge shot, right? Yeah, single injection disables charge shot, so maybe just halves your damage. And something like 5e or Pathfinder, or something, you know, with damage, HP pools and whatnot. And then the second one would maybe cripple some movement speed, or stop some spells. Ooh. Ooh. That would be neat. You could do something like that. The thing is, it's him against many. So you can pull everybody in and just... Tell you what, let's do this instead of poison dart. Poison vial. Lob a vial of poison that explodes in a small area and hinders the player in some capacity. Can't say each shot. The new vial is thrown. The hindrance gets worse. Slash adds new hindrances. That. I'll say that's not how you spell hindrances. Okay. We got there. So I like that. That way you can do the magnet thing. Ooh, pull a bunch of people in. Ooh. Gas them. Gas them good. The basic pistol's kind of lame though. The debuff is super cool. I guess he could have minions or something, right? Because he's an important player. Doesn't have to be a one-on-one. He's got like security thingies in the level. Let's see. Central computer, that's what I'm looking for. He's got this big old dude, and then this hologram thingy. Chop register. Yeah, this guy was, honestly, he'd make a cool bad guy on his own, because as you're going through the level, there's these little scan things you gotta avoid, but if they catch you, each scan they get makes him stronger, because it's like reading your data and everything, and figuring you out, so it gives him more abilities and stuff. I don't think it gives him any more health. I think it just makes him move more. Like if you dodge all the scans, he just kind of sits there and pew, pew. It doesn't really do much. Versus if he gets all the scans, he's like, I guess I could just click on him. Jumps around and everything. Cursor attempts to scan X. Every time it scans him, Raider Killer progressively powers up using his pattern data to make the coming battle more difficult, including new attack and defense capabilities. Hey, look at that. Each form, however, has the same amount of health, so he just gets better. And that is how you scale difficulty, not just give them more health. Green, the standard form. This is one I always find. Which fires pink energy bursts and jumps, shooting a spray of 3 bullets. Blue variably shoots energy bursts higher than normal, making them harder to X jump over, but he can dash under. Attempts to pounce. The strongest form creates a shield-like projectile. Ooh. I feel like I tried the red one time. I don't remember purple. Speed burner. I didn't know that. Oh, we don't have like the move list at the bottom like a boss. Boo! Useless wiki, boo! Alright. But my point was, he's got like these little security thingies all throughout his facility, so I guess he could have his things that he's corrupting, right? The little brainless soldiers. Mayhap. And you know what? Now that I've started streaming, I knew what I meant to spend my morning doing. I was going to try and set up multi-stream. Kind of forgot. Oh well. Maybe next week. Not sure I want to try that with Moss and Stone. Mess it all up. But I might. We'll see. Let's see. So he needs some minions. Maybe freshly turned ones? I don't know. Let's see. Minions. Minions? That's not how you spell that. MC as minions at his disposal. These are limited and are at the beginning. Oh, and are first multi-stream is the last Maverick. Ah! These are limited and are present at the beginning of the fight. The minions are corrupted, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so I think even though he's not outputting much damage, the debuffs will be very bad. And then the minions can come in and... Centipede, yeah. Players also need to destroy the factory. Boy, tapping. Lab. Also need to destroy the factory lab. Yeah. Excuse me. I feel like that's good enough. That didn't take very long at all. Which is okay, like I said, I gotta make sure I get done in time today. Don't think I need to go that fast. Oh hey, Crystal Snail, let's go. Weird West. So I feel like I'm missing something though. We got a little bit of the setting, because the same setting as Sponge. We know what he is. We got a few abilities. Well, I have a few very vague abilities. Yeah, okay. Alright. Crystal Snail. Let's see. Let's go back here. Crystal Snail. Is a snail type Reploid? I never would have guessed. Now, where is it? Yeah. Crystal Snail's background and any past affiliations are unknown, but his status as an SA class Maverick Hunter indicates he was criminal, or a criminal, before joining the X-Hunters, so he's a little bit of a troublemaker, which works for the Weird West, right? And his level is the Energen Crystal Mine. Energy crystals. Power. Now you can, I thought there was a GIF of it here, but there's not. Yeah, if you hit him with his weakness, it'll knock him out of his shell temporarily. But you can dash into the shell and hit him with it for a bunch of damage. I didn't know you could do that. But I did find that out before we started doing this stream and stuff. I think I was just watching somebody play and they did that. It was like a few years ago and I was like, I didn't know you could do that. I just kept trying to hit him before he got back in it. I'd never bumped it with a dash. Or what? No, I take that back. I feel like I always bumped into it after he died. I didn't know you could hit him with it. Oh well, doesn't matter. Yeah, so let's see. Does this take us to his level? Yeah. Crystal Mine stage. It is a mine stage, but unlike Armored Armadillo, Internal Rhino is laced with crystals and gemstones. It is used for mining energy crystals, but Crystal Snail has it under his control. Alright. Well, this one only has 3 bad guys. It's got a mini boss and then 2 bad guys. Ah. Yeah, and I always get his music stuck in my head. Doom 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 doom. So he's got a mine, right? And it's energy crystals. It's crab soft. Did you finally wake up before it's over? Yeah, man. We're only about half an hour in, and we're on the last guy, Crystal Snail. So he's got a mine for energy crystals, which I guess are the things every character has in their head and chests. An energy resource for Mega Man. That's what we'll go with. So this is a weird West. We can have like some weird steampunk. I think, let's see, I had some thoughts here. Used for mining energy crystals, stage function. Yeah, those are about the stage. The stage is still going to be a mine in the Weird West. I think I left that up for you guys to figure out. What is it that he is mining? And I had some thoughts about gemstones that are full of some kind of power source that weird steampunky Tesla looking machines are using. So imagine like your iron horse, right? In this old Weird West setting, it's a mechanical horse, and it has these crystals coming out of it, just when that's the power. Like, they're very raw crystal shaped. They're not cut into gemstones. That'd be cool. I was leaning more into the Tesla side of things with, you know, a bunch of coils and lightning. And then, yeah, maybe he's in the mine because he got crystal madness. That's what I was thinking. And made himself part machine, so he's like, or maybe not machine, like he just stuck the crystals in him and he went crazy. It was fun trying to use you guys to make a thing. Hey, that's good. That's what they're for. Just crystal snail players. Can't say that too loud on YouTube. I get in trouble. We'll say he killed them all in this one. And he has the mine for himself. So the mine itself could be kind of spooky. Ooh, you could have it like haunted. Because he went in there and slaughtered everybody. It's just like ghosts in there now. And the weird zzz coming off of the crystals. Yeah. Okay. I think we're on the right track. So let's say there's Crystal Snail. It's taken over a energy crystal mine. He killed everyone inside. He developed crystal madness. Stuck the crystals into himself. Turning himself. The world has Tesla influence. Hang on, isn't Tesla Punk a thing? Let me go look this up. If I go somewhere like Pinterest. Tesla Punk. Okay, that is Tesla Pink. And it indeed came up with pink Teslas. Tesla Punk. Okay, so y'all can tell me what you think here. Yeah, this is kind of what. So that wouldn't. Darn. I mean, we can still do it. But I guess Tesla Punk is its own thing, right? Kind of the vibe I'm going for. Thinking like the steampunk look fused with Tesla Punk reasoning and logic. I guess, I don't know. Like the bluey lights, but this okay, now this is just steampunk. We are straying from the path here. I say that. Look at that weird guy. So instead of these coils and Tesla Tower looking things, imagine it with just raw crystals coming out of them. But the machinery looks very similar. So instead of random gears and steampunk, it's random crystals just jammed in there. Okay, I would. Is crystal punk a thing? Like, why not? Right? There's a punk for everything. If I say crystal punk, well, I'll be darned. I don't think it's actually a thing, but some weird things came up. A lot of AI, unfortunately, but I'm gonna say this. Oh, no, for a moment there I was like, is this just 0? But it's not. I don't know what that has to do with crystals. But you get the idea, right? So that's what they're doing. And the crystals can just have the electricity coming out of them, but remove all these little coils and saucers and things. And that is what we'll do. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's very weirdly. So maybe that's what happened to Crystal Snail. He was doing this to himself. And that's why he took the mine. So was turning himself part machine. This is why he wanted to take over the mine. So that happened first. He didn't go to the mine and become crazy. Okay. I'm gonna keep these 2 picks just because I can. Alright. The world has Tesla. Alright, I must have been writing something, I already forgot. Kill everyone say, develop course of madness. Tesla style machinery. Well, that's right. I was thinking it's Tesla. Okay. I had to backtrack. Tesla punk style machinery, but instead of coils, rods. Just jammed in there. Okay. So he has crystals coming out of him like. That looks like a crystal, right? And they go zip, zap, zip, zap. It's a crystal snail. He's electric snail. Alright. That's very cool. So the mines are used to harvest more power crystals, which are used to create and power machinery. Mines are rare, therefore highly valuable. well protected. Let's just say mines are crucial to a community's survival. Crystal Snail killed everyone in the mine and taken it over. Result, mines become haunted. Ghosts of the dead. I don't know. You have ghosts of the living? Sure. Players must fight their way through the haunted mines and defeat Crystal Snail. Very cool, man. Okay. Let's see what I got written down here. Well, let's go look at Crystal Snail. Alright, so he throws out 3 globs of gel, which harden and trap the player on crystal on contact. That one's pretty easy. Excuse me. I think I had something written down already. Liquid crystal. He can throw out gobs of liquid crystal to solidify upon impact, encasing the players and locking them in place. Yeah, and then he can okay. Shell tackle. Yeah, this was the weird one. Crystal Snail tucks into his shell and spins before casting his arms out to temporarily slow down time for the player. Snail only uses his attack when below half health. And it makes such a cool noise. And the screen, like, it's pretty cool. So I have Time Warp. The crystals in the mine all pulse at the same time and distort everyone's vision, making them move sluggishly while Crystal Snail moves freely. So I think I will just kind of take that as is. Ah! Can we just keep text on? There we go. Yeah. So he's like, I was gonna say, it's like he's connected to the crystals. Maybe that's how we do the haunted bit. The mine isn't really haunted. It's just him controlling the crystals and like maybe talking to them. He's not intentionally trying to scare you. He's just psychotic and talking to them and voices coming in the crystals. I don't know. Liquid crystal. Oh. Let's see. Snail throws out globs. Thick globs. I don't know. It'd be globs of thick liquid that crystallizes on impact, locking players in place and allowing Crystal Snail to deliver high damage from the machinery on his back. Watching. Well, that's part of it, man. That's how that's supposed to go. I mean, if you hang out in the stream and get a bunch of ideas, that's cool. And then if you just look at the final product and get ideas, that's cool. The idea is just to get the ideas flowing, and to get me views and grow my channel. That's a happy side effect. Okay. Now, if you come up with ideas, feel free to share them, because that is also what we're supposed to be doing here. Y'all are supposed to be helping me out here. Because my ideas only go so far. As you can see, throws out globs of liquid that trap you and allow him to hit you. What does this guy do? Oh, he pulls you in with a magnet so he can hit you. You know what I'm saying, man? You're gonna be able to look at something and be like, oh yeah, Scrap made this. And I gotta write a cavern of endless echoes. Oh man, that's cool. Where everything said gets repeated in whispers and the party gets lost inside. Click that if vote like a good simp. That's right, that's right. Do what you're told. Man, look. So speaking of simps, I think I've mentioned it before. I've been in these little YouTube thingies. Y'all can't even see that. These little group call things, community things that YouTube's been doing. I don't think I'm allowed to say too much about them because it's a new thing they're doing, testing out. But there's been little groups of us will get together and share our experiences and whatnot. And there's this one gal in one of the groups I was in, and she had like a fishing channel. She did a lot of outdoorsy stuff. And you know, she's very young, very good looking, and she's got like a couple 100,000 subs. And then I saw her channel. I was like, yeah, like I know why you got a bunch of subscribers. But she reached out to me and we chatted a little behind the scenes, and she's like a super nice person. And I was like, well, yeah, you know, I'll jump in one of her streams, and you see the streams and it's just like, oh yeah, I mean, she's fishing and having a good time, but the chat was just, it was so cringe. It's just simps everywhere. Oh, so bad. Here's $100. Hope you have a good day. It's like, geez, man. But it was really weird to like, because you see that all the time. You know, the gals are just on there like, look at me, give me money. But to talk to one of them out behind the scenes, it's like, oh yeah, they're a super nice person. She was rooting and cheering for me. She's like, you're gonna do good. I was like, oh, geez, man. I'm over here being judgmental. Not saying she ain't making videos with watching, but we're not saying. That's the thing, like, some of them, I don't fish. I don't know anything about fishing, but like, I did tell her, I was like, I hate to tell you this, but I went fishing many times growing up and never caught a single fish. So she stopped talking to me after that. Not really, but I was gonna say, like, her fishing content is kind of interesting. You know, she's just out there hanging out on the boat or on the coast or whatever, and catching some fish. Just reeling them in. And one, she was I forget what it's called. I saw a clip of her. She made like a collection of best catches or something, and one was her for the first time trying a thing where you just stand in the water, grab them right out, like you stick your arm down their throat. Yeah. Big old catfish she got, man. Dang. I couldn't do that. I could not just could not do it, good sir. But like I don't know her content. I see a lot of videos since I watched one or two of her streams. Now they come up all the time, and a lot of her streams aren't fishing related. They're just like basically what Twitch would call is it the IRL section, where it's just people hanging out doing whatever. That's a lot of her content, but some of it was just, I've seen a few times now come up different streams opening y'all's gifts. So I guess people just send her, like, golly, somebody sent her some jewelry, and I don't know anything about jewelry, but the name was on the box, so I went and looked it up, and like, that was multiple thousands of dollars for that piece of jewelry. It's just like, holy moly. It's not fair, man. It's not fair. Oh, jeez. Say, I don't even think Penguin Zero has it that good. I mean, people are giving him money left and right, but dang. He's also got multiple millions of subscribers versus a couple 100,000. One day, Crab, we'll get there. We'll get there. People send even small ugly man YouTubers gifts. You just got to put a P.O. box. You know, that's true technically, because I've got a couple games people sent me. Just reached out, but they weren't gifts. They were, you know, hoping for a review. they were bribes. All right, let's see. Time warp, liquid crystal. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's say, I'll put it down here where y'all can see it. Crystal zap. Lightning arcs between the crystals on his crystals on his back. Lightning arcs between the crystals on his back and shoots out towards a player. If the player is stuck in liquid crystal, this damage is doubled. Ayo. Yeah. Though I gotta say, Crab, I'm not ugly man YouTuber. I'm a handsome man YouTuber. But I am small as far as sub count goes. Height-wise, I'm pretty tall. As Peter will tell you, he was surprised to see that I was taller than him. He's used to seeing the little squirrel on screen. Alright, Crystal's at... I mean, that's really all he had going on for him. He just has the slowdown, the tackle, and then... yeah, throws the glob at it. So what else could he do? Did I have anything else in my notes? Time warp, protection... oh yeah, he can hide in his shell. Okay, let's do that. Put that over there. Shell. Now hunkers down and forms energy barrier around. It can't move while in this state, but it will block all attacks. Not sure when you'd use that, but you know. 5/5, I just assume everyone's a giant. You little shorty. Look at you. Was it you, El Crabo? Last time we were gaming, you said you were down. Last time we were gaming, you said you were game. Game for hopping on streams whenever. I've had a few people offer, and guess who has to use sick time in the disability form? Are you serious? They're gonna make you use sick time that whole time you were out for surgery? That's stupid. Anyway, Crab, was that you? Said you're willing to come on streams? I don't need you right now. Don't panic. I was just wondering, because a couple people have made that offer. Like Blaze has come on many a times in streams in the past, and I just need to make myself a list somewhere. Yeah, you're easy. Oh, she said, yeah, but... So wait a minute, what was... Did you ask them what the small paycheck was for then? Because we assumed that was with the temp disability. Your job's a mess. This guy is so weird looking. Like, he has wheels on him. He don't make no sense. But he's cool looking. Because we do Flex Fridays and there was a holiday in there, it only, which still leaves me with, how much sick time do you have? thought 40 was the going norm. A filing issue, I'll be ready to pay for the full amount. Good lord, man, they just can't get right. I think the levels for this little project, the levels ended up being more interesting than the characters. I mean, the character narratively and lore-wise is interesting, and his level's cool because it builds off of that. But the villages are just kind of meh. But I guess they kind of have to be because they're just supposed to be super generic, so you can plug them into other systems. So, let's say, since, I mean, I guess that's good enough for Crystal Snail. Let's see if we can't go through and get some vibes. What was... Well, let's just go backwards. Let's get some Weird World War for... That's the wrong thing. I search Weird World War. Let me get rid of this guy. Boop. That's not what I want. War of the Worlds. I don't think this is quite what I'm going for, but it's cool looking. Okay, that didn't work at all. Weird World War. What if I do Weird World War TTRPG? Time off policies are such a scam. I mean, they really are. All in ugly, sounds like they're doing you dirty. But what job business isn't? Alright, I am not getting the pictures I wanted. Where's Twice Dead? He knows all the Weird World War games. This Discord age verification stuff, I don't want to preach on the corner like a doomsday preacher, but people are so confused. Oh yeah, well, and that's by design, right? Discord's intentionally being vague, so... and, you know, hiding the part they don't want people to see. No company is good at communications. Yeah. But see, isn't there some law passed or passing where all companies are essentially going to have to start doing what Discord's doing? Because I thought the UK was already under that law. And that's why some things, like, I don't even think Imager, if you know that site, I don't think their UK allows them at all because Imager just didn't feel like adhering to their policies, so. They were pretty specific, and the guy who coded it was in the comments defending it. Oh, man. Imagine simping for your company in the comments. Yeah, like, that's what I thought. But they've been at it for a while. They also tried to ban memes. Yeah. Yeah, Australia kind of went hardcore and, like, wasn't the best idea. Man. Is there another term for weird world war? Alternate history. Try that. Alternate world war. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. Is that a boat in the middle of a desert? U.S. is trying to pass similar laws. They started with porn feed. Yeah, where the individual states, right, require verification. Because it wasn't every state, right? Wasn't it just so? And, you know, like the southern ones jumped on it, like Tennessee and Texas. But, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, sure, you're totally going to stop kids from watching that. VPN. You know, VPN or... There's... I don't even think you need that, right, to get past it. You can just download a different browser with the built-in features. Not to mention that Reddit's loaded with it, and that doesn't stop anything, so... But even one of it's an AI use case, and all the tech companies that invested billions into it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they've probably been realizing for a while now, but like, I feel like they're this close to admitting, yeah, guys, this AI thing just ain't making us any money. It's really not. But man, yeah, they pumped billions into it, and I don't know if you've seen it. Ooh, that's cool. That's super cool. What are they calling it? It's because all this tech stuff, the way with AI and NVIDIA and everybody, like they're all investing into each other. And I think they called it like incestual investment, because it doesn't work. But they're like investing into each other, and yeah, it's just gonna pop because it's not going anywhere. I have a friend in Russia where the government literally sniffs your packets and it's trivial to bypass everything. Yeah, my buddy's wife is from Russia. They go over there all the time. Well, maybe not all the time, but they're so close, but if Discord can prove it protects the children, the bubble might not burst. Of the image. What of the image? Confused me, Glee. They got a robot in there. Or dude in a super suit. Pinterest just like does not work for me sometimes. It's like, you know, you click a picture, you're supposed to get a whole bunch more. And it just doesn't do that. It just brings up the picture. It's on live chat. Let me switch to top and then back to live. No, your last message is sounds about right. Then I have a couple from Crab, and then it says of the image. Let me check YouTube chat, because this is an OBS. No? Oh, you like the robot? Yeah, he cool. Yeah, okay. Glee's tripping. Hi, cat. Ooh. There's a wild one. This is some time travel shenanigans right here. You got some jets up there and some samurais and the colonial guys and World War II and one. Oh, there's a knight back there. Oh, God. That looks like a good time. Talk to myself sometimes, it's fine. Yeah. Okay, that is definitely not what's going on, but that's really cool. Oh, here you go. Here's your weird world war. Alright. Now, more seriously, there is this guy. I've seen a bunch of his stuff on ye old Pinterest. He has a lot of vehicles and tanks and stuff based off animals. It's like, that's pretty cool. That would go good in this world. The crab. Actually, I didn't even think about that. Crab. There you go. There's your vehicle. But yeah, anyway, the investment, the internal investing is just, and everybody's like connected to NVIDIA somehow. But then NVIDIA invests into Microsoft to get this other thing going, which invests back into them. And it's probably technically 9 kinds of illegal everything they're doing, but also a loophole at the same time. Ghost in the Shell? Yeah, it does. Kind of, doesn't it? My mood board going on here. Oh, here we go. That's the vibe right there. All right. Let's do this. Boop, 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 boop. Don't need that. That's the big vibe. Alright, so I know who that's for. Actually, it's for both you goobers. Stop suggesting. Thank you. He's so short. Crab. Now come here. Boop, boop, boop. You're gonna keep poking me. Well, now you can bite me in the face. Yeah, you're a dork. Why though? Why are you bopping me? Or are you going after the cord? Is that what you're doing? Alright, let's see. I guess that's pretty good for him. Flame Stag, Solar Punk, we got that one figured out. Cyberpunk, that one's easy. Magitech. Y'all can't see this cat. She just kind of oozed out to the side. Oh, never mind. I was gonna move the camera, but open up your office. Nah, she's fine. Just annoying. Let's see. Magitech. Just take a picture from Arcane, right? That'll make it work. But I don't know, man. And that's the thing. I don't think anybody knows, really. Any of the economists or anybody, if the bubble's gonna pop or not. And you know, if it does pop, what's that mean for the rest of us? You know, those companies are gonna be kabillions of dollars in the hole, and they're going to be looking to collect, and they don't really care how they get it, which means it's coming out of our hides, so. Maybe kind of looking like a gator. Let's do what we just did. So I don't know. I'll just be glad when they stop trying to force it so hard into everything. Like there's good uses for it, there's cool uses for it, and there's hilarious uses for it. But man, like, I don't need my ink pen to have AI features in it, if you know what I mean. There's a time and place. We don't end up with rationing my time off. We might, man. We schmight. You know, I do wonder. There's a serious loss of generational knowledge in every field, but software is actually completely cooked. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I was going to say, I wonder, you know how AI is a very controversial topic, right? I wonder if AI came out in a time or some alternate universe where there was no social media, if it would be half as controversial as it is now. And I ask because social media is so good at making two sides. You know, social media thrives off people arguing. So I just wonder how it would be. But I guess you can't really have AI without social media, right? As far as tech progression goes. You old enough to remember Google coming out? Heck yeah, man. I remember Google coming out. I remember the internet coming out. Technically, the internet already existed when I was born, but like when I was born, most people did not have a computer. People thought you were stupid if you believed anything you read on it. That's the crazy part now. People thought you were a really sad person who played video games for so. Yeah, that's still weird to me. When people, ask, "Do you play video games?" it's still gut reaction for me to say no, not really, because I got ragged on so hard growing up for that. Because yeah, you were the outcast if you did that. But beer bag lunch. Yeah, but as far as thought you were stupid if you believed anything you read on the internet, that's crazy. Because like, I remember that, and you might remember some of it too. I forget how old you are, but now it's the same people that told you were stupid for believing anything you read on the internet believe anything they read on the internet. It's so crazy how that is flipped. And then there's the boomers, right? They believe anything they see on the internet. And then you have millennials, which I feel like generally know how to filter through a lot of that. And then everything after millennials, they're just believe whatever AI tells them. It's just like, dang it, we were on the right track and then we all got stupid again. Born in '90, so I never experienced the physical violence, but it was definitely not cool through high school. Yeah. it was not. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of missed that. I don't kind of miss that. I really miss that when nerdy things were nerdy things and not mainstream, I guess. Cause see, Call of Duty came out, and that got a lot of dude bros, and that kind of coolified video games. And when the dude bros made it cool, then the girls started wanting the attention of the dude bros, and then they started pretending to be nerds, and then geek became a thing, and it just like went downhill. Let's talk about this dynamic. Well, we got about another 30 minutes we could kill. I'm just trying to find a bunch of references I'm not finding. But yeah, like I miss it when you went to a, not that everyone went to conventions, but like if you were in some kind of group with a lot of people that played video games or were into that kind of thing back in the day, it was a group of people who was into that thing and, you know, knew about it, was familiar with it. Now you go to a group gathering of that and you got like such a wide berth of people. Like you go to a TTRPG convention, you got people there like, yeah, I like dice, and that's why they're there. And it's like, okay, maybe I'm being a little gatekeepy, but you know, it gets too noisy and it gets too crowded. See, before it was everybody there you could get along with. It was a smaller crowd, but everybody was into it, not just bypassing or whatever. D&D guys used to be Outcasts, but then Outcasts joined the D&D guys rather than being native D&D. Yeah, so when Outcasts became cool, you got cool guys joining D&D. Yeah. Now, when I got into TTRPGs, it was already cool. It had been accepted by the mainstream. I was a very late adopter of that, but I remember the video game side of things. Ooh. Bruh, this is pretty cool. I might save that one. Crystal pistol. It's Crystal Snail's gun. The crystal pistol. So clever. You gotta learn to do things for the gram now that you're an influencer. Ugh. I've been on Instagram like 2 or 3 times since I've made the account. I hate it. Like the user interface is so bad. It's awful. Awful. Alright, this is an AI modified, it says, but it gets the idea. I'm still not really getting the vibes I want. And it's all like weapons and equipment that I'm finding. Oh, this guy's pretty dope. Look at that. Don't get it all unless you're looking for booties. And even then, it's filtered booties. So like, what's the point? Man. You know, I don't get out much, but every now and then I'll see an Instagram model in the wild, and it's just like, ew. Like, that's gross looking. It's nothing new though, right? I was gonna say it's wild what people do to themselves, but like, what was it, the 90s? When everybody wanted to be really skinny? Or was that the early 2000s? Like, anorexic was cool back then. And that was what they were doing to themselves. And then in the 80s, you know, it was huge hair, which I kind of liked. It's just every generation, right? MySpace era, we were all emo, yeah. That was kids, though. I know they're out there. But growing up during that time, I never saw an emo adult. That was very much a kid thing. So now, I guess the adults maybe we see now that are in the emo thing never got out of that phase. They peaked in high school, man. RAR XD. I saw a couple comments not too long ago about that era, about the randomness of that era when random was funny and cool. And it was interesting how they broke it down. Or talked about it. I guess they didn't really break it down, but like it worked back then. But I couldn't remember his reasoning. Like, it just doesn't hit the same now. Peaked in 4th grade, so now I make TTRPGs. Yeah. Welcome aboard, loser. Hey, this is pretty cool. It has nothing to do with the vibe I'm going for, but it's neat picture. Oh, I lost my place. No, I didn't. I found it. What if I do like Magitech landscape? City? Some. Ooh. Oh, these are cool. I have no idea what you're going. Yeah, well, that one doesn't have anything to do with it. Random here is the current young gen is in the current young gen is more similar to deism than the random humor of the previous gen. I didn't understand what that meant. As far as the vibe goes, it's supposed to be Magitech, so like what they were saying, arcane, didn't really. That one doesn't work. I just like the gun. Also just like that gun. Yeah, well, big city with lots of advanced tech, bulky 70s and 80s style, though. The Magitech is magic liquid. Oh, that's right. Tube tech. Okay, yeah, I'm way off. So he could have tubes in him. I don't think this is gonna work. Final Fantasy, yeah, maybe. Originally an art movie. Ah. You would be talking about art. Randomness for the sake of a revolt. Yeah. Yeah, none of these are really working, man. What if we spell it this way? Well, hey. I remember this image. For one of the little writing exercises I like to do is find a random image and then just make a scene, like try to describe what's going on. And I did this one recently. Just found it. I think they're all about to get zapped. I did this one too. I remember this one. The hands. That was a fun one. Got a bit of degree to good use. Just so happens the good use is live streams. Yeah, man. Ooh, that's spooky. The hand one reminds me of the game Grizz. You took so many screenshots of that game. It's kind of... Those are the type of games, I don't know what to call them, but art project is what comes to mind. Like, they're not very much of a game in the traditional sense, but technically they are a game. What did you say, Crabbo? Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy City. Visual experiences. Yeah, I was like, it's like an interactive DVD. This ain't working, Crab. But I do agree, it was like a good idea. It is the vibe. I think what I'm trying to get is very not mainstream, not popular, which might be good. I don't know. Magitech City. What if I do 80s magic? Am I gonna have to pull out the image generator after we got done bashing AI? I mean, that's what it's for, right? Or a good use of it. Getting some concepts. Well, don't tell nobody, but let's try it. Let's try this. I don't know how to spell. Use your Firefly account to do most models. Maybe. Maybe. Magical liquid. Let's just see what that makes. There we go. That's awful. That's really bad. Oh my god. Let me try this. AI is great. It's the future. I have a crocodile flipper feet because 90s. That's why. No, it doesn't. Stupid web peas. Man. These are so bad. Hang on, actually I have to download them. Can't just copy paste. Okay, there's the first two. Like, what is even going on here? This has nothing to do with what I asked it to make. It got the tubes, technically. Most of your website. Well, yeah, I mean, I get the use of WebP, but like, golly, they don't interact with anything. So I don't know what's going on there. Some friggin' Western city with floating boomboxes. Snipping tool. Yeah, I could do that. And then this one. Yeah, I mean, the streetlights are kind of cool, minus the fact that they're dripping. I don't know why this car is flying. Oh, man. Hey, Magic Brews. It even, like, spelled it and everything. Wow. What is... That's just gibberish right there. Golly, that is such a horrendous picture. And then I tried... I was like, okay, do it. A colored sketch. And you got the bell bottoms, so... I guess that part's right. You're pure fun. I don't know what's going on here, man. It's like you got your 60s, 70s man right there. And then a mixture of like these medieval robes and castles, but then you got people flying up here and all these TVs and tubes. Where's the Waldo looking drawn? Yeah. Oh man. It's the future, man. Alright, well. That was a no-go. Oh, jeez. Y'all will just have to envision that one. Steampunk. AI so good, let me buy one. Yeah, this is the thing, like they're kind of fun for little things like that because it's free, but they're not going to be able to keep that free, I don't think, for much longer. Like, that's got to be costing them a ton of money, and they're not really getting anything out of it. And I've told Glee this a few times. If there was... This is gonna sound really big-headed, but if there was an AI that could keep up with me, I'd pay for it. If I could have like a brainstorming AI partner, I would. Not even a brainstorming. I mean, that's what I would use it for a lot, just to like bounce things back and forth and like, hey, try and find a loophole in this thing. Give me a starter, an idea, and then I take it. You know, you bounce back and forth, ping pong off of it, but. More useful than that, and this is, as far as I know, can't be done very well yet. So, the book I wrote is supposed to be part of a series, right? It's a big world that multiple books are going to take place in. So I have all my world building documentation for those novels. I would love for an AI to be able to keep up with that. So when I change something in the world or add something into the world, I could say, hey, Mr. Mrs. AI thing, whatever. I added a pink dragon in this book. Does that contradict any of my established lore? And then it could go through it and be like, nah, you're good. Pink dragons are fine. Or it might be like, well, nope, on this book, on page whatever, line 323, you said there's no pink dragons in the world. It's like, okay. You know, that would be very surface level checking, but if it could take it all in context and be like, well, you've only established a few different colored dragons and they were based off environmental things, so you know, you start asking questions. Why is it pink? Why would it do this? You know, does it try and make it make sense? But Gemini's deep dive feature does that? I don't believe you, or at least not on this level that I'm talking about. Deep research, yeah, because I'd have to. That's a lot of different files to feed it and a lot of different things for it to keep up with. Like I said, it could do the surface level stuff, like can I make a pink dragon, and I don't know how you would tell an AI to keep up with your magic system and all that. And you're like, hey, can a hybrid make a fireball? Like, it's not gonna know the answer to that, but if they could come up with something like that wasn't $300 a month, you know, you could probably talk me into buying it. But from what I have seen, now granted, from what I understand, all of these general purpose AIs are pretty darn weak in that capacity. But at the same time, I haven't really heard of any that specialize in what I'm talking about. What would it take for you to believe? Yeah, this is the thing. I'd still go back and check because those things are usually wrong, right? But you can analyze up to 1,500 pages and produce research within your parameters. I started to use it for my brand building. Yeah, I still think you're kind of missing what I'm getting at here. And I'll admit I'm doing a very poor job of explaining it beyond pink scales. Ow. I mean, I got like a sore spot on my head. Falling apart. No, maybe we'll have to try it. Old fancy Gemini. Gemini is supposed to be in the lead, right? As far as useful AIs. I feel like it just kind of overtook the old ChatGPT at one point. An assistant. I hesitate to call it creative assistant because that's not really what it's doing. It'd be nice if I just give it all my junk and say, hey, organize this and make it make sense. Humans don't do a good job of keeping it. That's true. That's true. And that's why I've been super anal about it, and with all my world building documentation. It's like, I'm going across multiple books here, so I don't want to be that one that contradicts himself, but I know I will. You know, it's just, and I think that's what some people forget too. It's, you know, we'll point at an author or somebody, a director, where things get contradicted. Obviously, some are worse than others, but like, you gotta remember, a lot of these things, it's one person trying to keep this together, and then they put it out into the world where millions of people read it and look over it. It's like, oh yeah, that's millions of eyeballs you did not have access to until it was done. So that's just kind of how it goes now. Like I said, some are worse than others. Like, what was it? Of course, we're going to bring up Star Wars. The Acolyte, right? And that the one they were talking about, they hadn't seen a Sith in so long, and a Sith shows up in that show despite what was very blatantly said in the prequels. Like, we haven't seen a Sith for thousands of years. But in this show that takes place before that, a Sith shows up and starts killing everybody. It might have been mentioned. And not only did they contradict what was said, they used the same guy to contradict it. Like, they brought him back specifically to contradict himself. It's like, at that point, I think you're doing it on purpose. You need to end stream soon. I do. I was just checking the chime. I still got a bit. Like 15 minutes, but Starfleet Academy is pretty rough for contradictions, which is... What is that? Starfleet Academy. I know that's not what I'm thinking it is. Is that the new one? The new one? Why does this not have a date on it? There we go. Yeah, 2026. Okay, that is the new one. Yeah, man, I watched... I don't really know anything about Star Trek. Other than Captain Picard is cool. That's about the extent of my knowledge. The character, not the show they made just about him. I watched... It was like a little 15, 20-minute video going over the first couple episodes, and boy, did it look bad. It looked so bad. The new Star Trek. Yeah, it looked horrible. In multiple ways. And there was just little things, like the Klingon, right? A Worf-looking dude that showed up. I was like, I know that's not right. And I barely know anything about Star Trek. But I don't get what is going on. Like, all of these shows and movies... How do I say this? They all have different ingredients, but they all went into the same waffle press. Therefore, they all look the same. It's wild to me. I do not get it. It looks like they were all just made by the same person, same crew, and didn't care to do anything different. Like, everything's being pressed into this specific shape. Waffle! There you go. Yeah, golly. I like this one dude, though. That actor. I think he's just a hologram in this show. What is his name? He's usually pretty good in whatever he's in. Here we go. Here's the IMDb. What's that guy's name? Robert Picardo. Yeah. He's funny. He was real good in Stargate. I think he only showed up a couple times in Stargate, I think, and then had a much bigger presence in Stargate Atlantis. But yeah, man, it just... You know, some things just don't make... Like, they will... It's even worse when they contradict themselves in their own show, in their own story they're telling us. Like, it's one thing when, you know, you got different movies, books, and everything to keep up with, but when you do it in your own story... Like, the first episode, I think, they introduced this academy as the best and the brightest and the sharpest and most skilled, and then this one character shows up who's just a total idiot. It's like, you know, comic relief. I get it. It's a wonderful tool, but there are other methods of comic relief that aren't Marvel, you know? I think she's the... No, I'm getting mixed up with another character. I thought she was a robot or something. I'm getting two characters mixed up. This one is technically not a person and just has really bad social skills. So that's more comic relief, because you needed more of that in a Star Trek show, right? Who is the other character I'm thinking of that just shows up and is a total idiot? Like they swallowed their communicator by accident or something. Oh well, I don't know. It ain't that important. Generational knowledge getting lost in people who hate source material getting hired. That's the weird part. God forbid someone to be smart and funny. Yeah, exactly. Dry humor. Right? They could just... And the Klingon would have been great for that, right? You know, that's how you could have changed the game a little bit. He still could have been his war-hungry, bloodthirsty killer, but you could never tell when he was really joking or not. Mary Sue detected. Oh, man. My brother learned what a Mary Sue was recently. He had thought it was a Mary Sue was a self-insert. He got him confused there. And Gary Sue is the male equivalent, I believe. Autistic coded character treated as awkward comedy, such lazy and inappropriate, right? Yep. And that's pretty much what she is, I think. That was the vibe I was getting. But like I said, she's not actually autistic, but that's what they were leaning towards. But I want to say I think she's a android or something, like an early version of Data. Or wait, does Academy take place before or after Data's show? Based on internet discussion, nobody knows what Mary Sue. Well, you're not wrong. The general idea is an overpowered character. Not just overpowered in the sense like their power scale doesn't make any sense. It's the lack of growth and training and whatnot to get there. Academy is 800 years later after. Okay, so she wouldn't be an early version of Data. So I don't know what her deal is. And I could be super wrong. Maybe it's an alien or something. Or maybe she is just straight up a regular person. I don't know. But I thought dude had said she was some kind of machine. In episode 2 of Starfleet, they used ASL as an alien language and it was rough. Ooh. That's pretty rough. But yeah, Mary Sue's like, and yeah, not to pick on Star Wars, but Rey is a terrific example of a Mary Sue. It's like she just, the other big thing about a Mary Sue, you can even take power out of the equation. It's just that everybody likes them and approves of them and is on their side. And, you know, just accepts them for what they are. So that's why Rey kind of hits all those points. She's super strong, super overpowered. In the first movie, we see her take on several dudes with her little metal staff. And, you know, it's like, okay, yep, she could have done that. We don't see any explanation as to why she could have done that. I guess you could argue, oh, well, she has the Force, but she didn't really until later. And then when she starts getting the Force, she just has it at these mass proportions. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody's heard all the arguments. But the other thing that I think a lot of people miss is that everybody just kind of accepts her as awesome. Because they're the main character. And it's just, that's when it's just lazy writing, right? You're allowed to do things because you're the main character. She's a hologram programmed specifically to be... Well, that's a weird reason, or why would you do that? So she's a hologram. I thought the doctor, the bald guy, Robert Picardo, that's the actor's name, not the character's name. The doctor, I thought he was a hologram. Are they both? I think his character's name's just the doctor. She's a hologram. Okay, so she was kind of a machine. I was on the right track. Not a physical machine. Why would you program it to be socially awkward? That doesn't make any sense. They both are holograms? Okay. Holographic people. It's a weird programming choice. She was programmed to feel 17, but she was made recently. That is also a weird choice. I don't know. Look, I don't know anything about the story or plot, so maybe it makes sense. You know, these young cadets and they need a 17-year-old awkward person. I don't know. Don't know, bucko. I'm not going to program any 17-year-olds, just saying. Well, there might be a demand for it. You never know. That was a poor joke. I am yelling supportive at you. Yep. I still got time, but I will start wrapping up. I do need to get off. They said she was made that way to experience the awkward teenage years. No reason beyond that. Yeah, okay. Well, it's still going, right? Maybe they'll explain it more later. Wouldn't hold my breath. But anyway, lads, I do need to get off of here. We have finished making Mavericks. I was actually going to poke the individual who made Hellborn. I was talking with him recently. He's like, hey, man, if you need any like layout stuff, give me a shout. I was like, okay. So I might get him to make me some kind of template for this to plug everything into. I don't know. We'll see. And I'll be on the hunt for some either stock art or cheap stock art I can buy or something to put in here for vibes. But the idea is to make a little something I can hand out, give y'all. But either way, messy or finished, they will be available. They're trying to integrate and normalize holograms as a species. Oh, more robots' rights. That was a thing in the... Or no, not... That was in the Han Solo movie, wasn't it? Robot rights, android rights, or whatever. That got a little weird. The robots make no sense in the Star Wars series anyway. Or the Star Wars universe. I like them though. They're always my favorite part since I was a little kid. Was all the robots and the ships. Always thought that was the cool part. Everything else was just whatever. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here. Today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday. We will be doing Moss and Stone. And I did say, I made an announcement on a community post today. Hey, I guess right, Century Zones. Normally I make a video every 2 weeks. This next one, you'll get it when you get it. Because I'm going to try something different. K2SO's, he's fantastic. You'll get it. You'll get the video when you get the video. Because I want it to be done right. And I'm trying something different. I want to see if I can just do more streaming and then make the videos better. And instead of trying to hit some arbitrary deadline I made up, just make them more worthwhile. So, were we going to do nuts this Saturday? I don't think so. Did I talk to you about nuts? Tripping? Am I tripping? One of us is tripping? You can send me a message if you figure it out. I gotta go. I gotta get off of here. And I gotta hop in another call. So I will see y'all tomorrow for Moss and Stone. I gotta find the stream button. Oh, quick, roll some dice. There's some dice. Whoop. What did I roll? I got a 1. Oh, dang it. All right, here's the stop stream button. I will see y'all later.